Hey guys, Sunday afternoon. I'm at the bench. Shawshank's Live Sunday at the bench. Hey Dickard, how you doing? I'm outside by the olive tree at the bench. Hey PB, how you doing? Happy Sunday. Just been kicking and screaming. Yeah, you got it, buddy. Cracking hat. Yeah, tipfer. So I tip my hat to you. Hey Justin, how you doing? Outside in the Spanish sun. Thank you. Did you know that the bowler hat was the original hard hat? That was what the bowler hat was invented for. So, hi Al, how you doing, buddy? Nice to see you here. Yeah, so the bowler hat was the original hard hat. That's what the bowler hat was designed for. So I've got my hard hat on for you. Safety first. Full of facts. Some facts, some fiction. So guys, I hope everyone's well. I hope everyone's having a good Sunday. I've been out here sharpening up these axes. Just did a little video. Yeah, game warden's hat. Yeah, it became a game warden's hat. Yeah, exactly. I mean, the origin of it was hey Al, good. I'm pleased to hear it. A new chicken, like live chicken, not chicken for lunch chicken. Yeah, I have been a busy man, PB. I have been busy. Thanks, Al. Like to rock a bit of style for you. I know you're used to the Canadian, you know, a styleless zone at the Canadians channel, so I thought I'd raise the tone and wear a bowler for you. The original hard hat. Yeah, live chicken. Yeah, okay, Justin. Sorry, didn't want to get a mix up there. Yeah, okay, go and see to your chickens, buddy. No problem. So yeah, I've just done a video on sharpening these axes. As Buckin's already said to everybody, we were lucky enough to get two. One we made. Mine is not exactly axe-like. I guess it is axe-like, but it's. I didn't fan out this as much as normal. I was a little bit worried about my abilities, so I got this far and I didn't want to ruin it, basically. So I kind of stuck with what I had. I've just put an edge on it, as you can see, so she's pretty sharp. I've done that on the Tormek, so I did a little video to show you how that was done, sharpening an axe on a Tormek. Yeah, well, I mean, it's functional, and it's a splitter. I've just, on the video, I've shown how it splits. So I've put this kind of sharp bevel on the end of it, and then it fattens out pretty quick. So for splitting, it's perfect. And then the other one, which the blacksmith gave us, I've put a much shallower angle on. So I'm going to choke down on that, and I'm going to use it for carpentry. So that's going to be a carpentry axe. As you can see, it's got a much sharper angle on it. And as I sharpen it more, you know, as I use it and sharpen it more, I'll bring these like cheeks in a bit here so that it's more even. It's pretty good at the moment, and it's sharp. You know, I mean, it's really sharp. It's hair splitting sharp. So yeah, really nice. I mean, it's a nice little tool. Yeah, good, Justin. Yeah, I know. I've had a few messages back and forward with Buckin today, and when I was at the wedding yesterday, I had a bit of fun with him, sending him some pictures. I don't know if you guys have had a chance to watch the wedding video yet, but that was great fun yesterday. Really nice. Thanks, Greg. Do my best for you. Like to bring a bit of style onto the channel, you know what I mean? We'll introduce a few surprises along the way. One of which is me in a bowler hat. So I've got a range of hats, including clown hats. So yeah, that one was my handmade with my initials in. I don't know if you can see my initials in there. So that was my one. Buckin made a much longer axe. because he drew his out much further, much more kind of tomahawk like, and that was mainly because when he first did this, which is the first part, as he said, he drove that down much further, so he had much more metal here that he could bring out and make a longer axe. Thanks, Mike. So yeah, his was a different shape. I wasn't quite so brutal with mine, and you know, I've ended up with this, which, you know, I'm happy with. I mean, you know, great memory of the trip, great memory, great trip with Bucking. We both really enjoyed the forging, and you know, to come away with something that you're going to actually use. This will go by the wood stove indoors, and just for splitting up kindling wood and that sort of thing. So it's going to live indoors really. I put some linseed oil on it when I was there at Gransfors, but gradually I'll sand that back and put some waka on there so that we preserve them. Am I going to forge more? I might do. When I was young, my dad had a construction company, and when I was young I used to have to go and work there. Well, I didn't have to, but I used to go and work there in my school holidays. And in one of the workshops, yeah, thanks Al, yeah, she doesn't very often star in the videos, but yeah, she was live and direct yesterday, enjoying herself. She got quite drunk last night actually on rosé wine. Yeah, they had a little forge in my dad's construction yard. They had a little forge there, and your dad as well, yeah, slave labour. So I did used to do a little bit of just literally just heating up and bending rebar just to make stuff like hangers and ladder hangers and hooks and stuff. And we used to make like hooks for hooking ladders onto roofs, so you could go up, walk up a roof on a ladder and that type of thing. So I did that kind of thing. So I knew a tiny bit about using a forge. I mean, a tiny bit, nothing like what we were taught. Will I? Maybe. I mean, maybe I'll make a small one. I think Bucking's thinking the same and making something small, probably gas powered, and just be able to do bits and pieces. It's very satisfying. It's just, I mean, as you can see, I'm outside now. I'll just flip the camera around and give you a quick view. Here we go. Put my thumb over the camera. There we are. So yeah, well, I normally work outside because it's always hot here and dry. So I'm outside most of the time. So I'd have to kind of do... Hi DIY, how you doing? I'd have to do something outside really. I'd have to have the anvil outside and have the forge outside. Not that it couldn't be done. I'd probably do something open. And, you know, have something open outside with like a tin roof over it or something like that maybe. From my experience of working with metal before, it's never such a good idea to have dampness around. Hot metal and dampness don't react very well together, so you know, you need quite a dry environment. I think it would be better to use gas because the coke, thanks PB, the coke that you use for the fire, I mean, when me and Bucking were getting the fire started, you know, it's a bit of a nightmare until you dry that stuff out. You really need quite a lot of kindling and you need to dry it all out, and doing that was not so easy. So you've got to really keep that stuff dry, and I think you need to be doing a lot of it to justify it, whereas using gas it would be much easier. So yeah, maybe I'll put something together. I need to buy a welder first, and then something I've been meaning to buy for a while, but I'll buy a welder and then I can make myself a little forge, just make it up out of sheet metal. Metal here is incredibly cheap. I mean, it's really cheap. It's wood that's expensive here. Can't wait for my next one. No, you're right, Justin. I think I will. I probably will do it. Yeah, it's just well, like everything in life, it's time, isn't it? But you make time for the things you want to do, and I guess I will make time for it. So I'm actually scaling back on something that I've been doing for a while here for somebody. I've been consulting for somebody. Yeah, I know, and it's incredible here. I don't know why it's so cheap. There must be some kind of subsidy from the government or something, but metal here is so cheap, and it's timber that's expensive because they have to import everything. They've cut all their forests down. So you know, to buy decent timber is prohibitive here. When we did up the old part of our house and we put a wooden floor in and did a lot of timber work in there, because I like timber. My family, my grandfather was a furniture maker, and so I've always grown up around timber. We wanted to put a lot of timber in the old house, and we did, but it was an expensive process. It would have been cheaper to, coat it in silver. So yeah, I'll probably make something up, a little forge just for outdoors, and perhaps put it on wheels or something so you can just wheel it outside and have a little gas forge and do something. But I know that anvils are expensive, and I think Bucking knows someone where he is. He knows someone he can get one from, but I will struggle here, I'm sure, and I think I'd probably have to pay a lot for it. So we will see. Yeah, got enough to do as it is. Yeah, I was just saying, I'm scaling back on something I've been doing for somebody here, so I might have some more time. Yeah, well, PB kind of created that situation. These situations don't just come along. Worked long and hard to be in a certain position by a certain point in my life, and you know, I told Bucking a lot about it when we were in Sweden, but it was very much to get to this situation. Get yourself a sea can and change the doors to the side rather than the ends. Yeah, good idea. Yeah, I mean, there's so many things you can do, isn't there? So yeah, to get to the point that we have arrived at in our lives, Lisa and I almost finished myself off, you know, working. So, and that was my choice, and we had a plan, and it was all in, literally, absolutely all in. So we got to a point where it was make or break, and it fortunately went in a positive way. You started forging 2 years ago, Greg, and you're stopping now. And why is that? Is there a reason that you're stopping, or are you just not doing that anymore? Or, you know, if you've got any bad stories for me, I'd like to hear them now before I go out and buy my anvil. So, you know, if you're crippled by wielding a big hammer all day long, then I want to know about it. Certainly, I having, you know, worked manually for a large part of my life, I realised my limitations very early on at the forge. Hi Anders, how you doing? I wasn't going to be wielding that hammer for 2 days, holding it on the end of the handle. Hi DIY. Yeah, it does take hard work, and you know, it's I don't know if you've got a favourite runner or a favourite athlete or a favourite sports person or whatever. I mean, when those people start the race, they're not thinking about getting halfway through and giving up. You know, they've got the finish line in their minds, and they go for the finish line, and whatever happens between the start line and the finish line, they overcome it to get there and get there first. So yeah, it's not easy, but if you're committed to it and you understand yourself enough, you'll achieve anything in life, I believe. It's just a case of committing yourself to it. But as I say, we were at one point very much all in. I was sleeping on the office floor and riding a bicycle to the office. So working. Yeah, you're absolutely right, DIY. It's you know, one step at a time. Everything is one step at a time. But yeah, just to make sure that the guys had their money and and that we could pay the bills and everything else for the company. I literally was, hey Henrik, sorry Henrik, I need some stronger glasses. I've got my safety specs. Don't do the Bucking safety squint, I've got some safety specs. Oh, you started making one. Sorry, Greg. Sorry, I misunderstood you. So you're still making it 2 years later. That sounds like my kind of project. It sounds like the sort of thing I've got a few. Well, I won't show you in my workshop, but I've got a few things started. Yeah, some great ideas started. Yeah, thanks DIY. It's really nice here. We're lucky, you know. We found where we want to be, and we are very happy here. And we've created an environment where we're both very happy here and very relaxed and enjoy being here. So yeah, it's nice, and managed to get ourselves into a situation where we, up to an extent, can pick and choose what we do. So I'm fortunate enough that I have worked in enough places and enough fields. I wouldn't say I have any expertise in anything, but I know a reasonable amount that my knowledge is valuable to people and they pay me for it. So I'm able to do various things for various people and make a living. So that's all right. Keeps me occupied. I get bored very, very easily. I'm the sort of person that has to have something going on all the time. Yeah, I'm fluent Spanish and I'm fluent French. I was actually brought up in France, so I speak fluent French. So for me, Spanish was quite, not easy, but it was relatively easy because the conjugation is the same as French. Hi, Cynthia. How are you? Okay. Good to see you. I put my hat on for you today, Cynthia, especially. Yeah, DIY. So if you're that nature, I mean, if you are a bit of a fidget, I was a nightmare child. Very, very difficult for my parents, to the extent that I spent most of my childhood with my father, because he was the only one who could kind of look after me. And so I subsequently applied that to going to school, and I was always the guy who put his hand up and asked the question. Always wanted more information, and I sort of carried that through. So yeah, I've turned that being a complete nightmare child, turned it into being a complete nightmare adult, as my wife will tell you, quite strongly. Yeah, I was tired. Bearing in mind that Mr. Bucking Billy Ray slept all the way there, and woke up at the end like some sprightly young man. Me having driven 300 kilometres, and then told everybody how great it was that we'd arrived on time. He only knew we were there because I poked him. So you know, we started that morning. I think we left that boat at 3 o'clock in the morning or something. I can't remember what time it was. And then he just went to sleep. So by the time I'd driven there and then forged all day, all right, Dickard, make some man glitter. Yeah, take care, buddy. Yeah, by the time I got there and then forged all day, I was tired. Yeah, I really was. Well, it's tiring when you don't know where you're going exactly. I mean, when you're driving around at home, driving's not so bad, but I mean, we were kind of a little bit under time pressure, and we wanted to get there on time. Yeah, I know, which is quite good actually, that he does stop talking when he's asleep. It's quite beneficial to those around him. So it's nice that he does go to sleep. It's just he picks his moments, you know. And then of course he's up in the middle of the night. So not only are we getting up at 3 o'clock in the morning, but he's making noise from about 1 o'clock in the morning. He's making it to melt aluminium. And pour down the anthills. I've seen that. I used to have, when I was younger, I had a company, and you may not know about it because it's a particularly English, it's a British, but it's a particularly English thing, to use lead on historic buildings like churches and cathedrals and that type of thing. And I had a company doing that, and we were smelting lead to create lead sheet, and also to create like lead ornaments and this type of thing. And in Britain, on all the historic houses, you've got a lot of rainwater hoppers, big hoppers that collect the rainwater, and lead guttering that comes down, lead downpipes. And they're all in a particular style. Hi Dio, I know I'm in Spain. I live in Spain, in Andalusia, outside a village called Coín. So I'm about 30 minutes from the coast. Hi Henry. Yeah, well thanks for coming over. I'm really pleased that you have come over and that you're getting something from the channel. I was from Kent originally, DIY, from Kent in the southeast of England. But I left England some time ago. I've been outside of England working in other countries for some time. And we ended up, my wife was also working in the Middle East for a long time, in Bahrain. So we ended up here in Spain. Your boss is in the UK. Ah, okay. In London, or? So yeah, I travelled around a bit and seen a few things and done different things. Oh, and then also at HB, Halterforce gave me and Buck and Billy one of these knives. Oh, you're in Surrey. Hi. I know Surrey fairly well. I used to ride motorbikes when I was younger, when I was like in my teenage years and in my very early 20s. And we used to ride around. Yeah, sorry, I'll just finish that off. Used to ride around Surrey a lot. I used to do trials. That's how I know Graham Jarvis. If you guys, some of you guys have picked up on the fact that I know Graham Jarvis, who's like now the world hard enduro champion and the king of hard enduro, they call him. He rides for Husqvarna. So that's how I know him. I would kind of helped him, taught him a little bit when he was young, when he was 8 years old, 9 years old. He subsequently got better than me very quickly. But yeah, that's how I know Graham. So I've known Graham for like 30 something years now. So yeah, the knife. When we went to, yeah, Didcot. When we went to HB, they gave us, Halterforce gave us a couple of these knives. So this is their like budget, what would you call it, bushcraft knife. So this is like their entry-level bushcraft knife with a really nice rubber handle, supposed to be anti-oil, anti-everything. It's got like a little scale on there, which I guess is for knowing how far you've plunged it into something. That's not something I'll be doing. But I've just put this edge on it, I don't know if you can see. So I've just put a sharp edge on it on the Tormek. So it's pretty sharp now. And I'll use it in the garden. Wrangler Star had small wood forge. It just uses wood. Yeah, could do. Yeah, I guess once you've got the thing up to temperature, and with a bit of a blower on it, some kind of blower, it would work. Yeah, I mean, you don't need to go too fancy. Everyone goes too crazy with everything. Anyway, I was mentioning to Greg, who was saying about his forge, that we used to smelt lead and make lead features. We used to make ornaments and copy existing items. So yeah, it comes with this striker thingy for making fires, which I don't know anything about, but apparently you scrape it along something and make a fire. There's kind of an indent on the top of the blade here, so I guess that's what you do. They said you have to wear the black coating off for it to work. I wouldn't know. I guess that's what that's for. Please correct me if I'm wrong. I think it's a striker thing for making sparks. It kind of looks like something you might just do your edge with, but I don't think that's what it is. Don't know. Anyway, nice little holster, and that goes on a belt. So yeah, I'll use that in the garden. And Buckin gave his to Mort because he thought Mort might get more use of it, and Mort's already sharpened his up and he's been using it, I think. So Mort likes killing things, so I think he's been using that for that. So yeah, if anybody wasn't here earlier, 2 axes like Mr. Buckin. My one that I made and the one that Frederick gave us. Turn that off. There we go. Very pleased with those. Great memory from Sweden. Really nice to have something that you're going to keep for the rest of your life and use. Memento of the course. And this great little knife that they gave us at HB. So I have just made a video about sharpening these up. I've put a couple of videos up today of various different things. Wedding we went to yesterday and a couple of other bits and pieces. And I will start probably tomorrow, maybe tonight, on the forging footage, because I looked through it the other day. Yeah, they're really nice sheaths, aren't they, Henry? They're really nice sheaths. I mean, they're... And it's got the little Grand's Force thing on the popper. Hi Evo, how you doing? Good to see you. Got the little Grand's Force thing on the popper and everything, so you know, detail, and they've got the Grand's Force on the handle. So this is the one that that Frederick made, that the blacksmith made, and I've just put an edge on that on the Tormek. So that is hair splitting sharp, and I'm going to use that and choke down on that and use it as a wood tool. So that's looking forward to using that. And then, did you like that, Greg? I mean, I don't know anything about knives, but I mean, you know, it's a nice knife and it's got a nice finish on it. I guess it was going to last. So yeah, I mean, I should just use it for pruning and use it in the trees. You know, I'm not going to go out and stab anything with it. But yeah, it's a nice little thing. I think there are other knives. They make a range. Holterforce, Holzbrook make a range of like bushcraft knives and stuff. I think they're quite a lot of money. The other ones. This is just like to get people to start to use it. Yeah, that's where your knife went, Bucking. Mr. Bucking Billy Ray's in the house. Bucking, I got my hat on for you. Guys and girls, Mr. Bucking Billy Ray is in the house. Live and direct. Yeah, the crazy Canadian. I thought I could smell something. So yeah, Bucking, I was just telling them that you had one of these as well, and that you gave it to Mort so that he could go and kill something. And he has, I think, killed a number of things with it. From what he's told me on WhatsApp, he's been doing some murdering. So yeah, I put an edge on it, on the Tormek. It's pretty sharp. And I shall be using that for pruning. Well, only slightly, Dickard, eh? Just a little bit. Jethro Tullish, yeah, it is a bit Jethro Tullish actually. And actually, as we've been joined by the man with over 10,000 subscribers. I think it could well be time. Hi Tim, are you going to get a Bucking special one day? Well, I don't know if I'm worthy. You know, you need to be some kind of axe wielding professional to have a Bucking special. I mean, am I worthy? That's the question. Yeah, Manly Headwear, yeah. I mean, I was informing, as I like to inform people in my humble way. I was informing my subscribers earlier that this was the original hard hat. When they brought out the bowler hat, the idea was that it was supposed to protect your head because the distance between your skull and the top would crush, and it would be the original hard hat. And then it became wear for tradesmen, craftsmen, gamekeepers, and then city gents adopted the hard hat. But well worthy, yeah. Well, you know, and yeah. Then it worries me because like when Bucking says, "Oh, it weighs 4 pounds or 3.5 pounds," I think, yeah, see me wielding that, I'll be like, my arms will be dead in 10 minutes. So I need a very light Bucking special. I need a lightweight Bucking special. So yeah, I was saying, as we have Mr. Bucking Billy Ray, 10,000 subscribers, famous YouTuber in the house, and we're not worthy, of course, I could do something because as you know, I think you know, we have over 200 subscribers now. So I mean, that's got to be worth a bit of this, isn't it? A bit of Bucking Billy Ray hippieism. Is it worth it? I mean, is 200 subscribers worth a bit of that? Me making a fool of myself on national YouTube television. You knew it was coming, Bucking, didn't you? You knew it was coming. I even thought the invention of hard hats came from the high scalers at Hoover Dam. Actually, not. I mean, I stand to be corrected, and now everyone's talking so fast. I stand to be corrected, but I understand that the bowler hat started in the UK, but maybe not. So we could agree to disagree, as I've done many times in my life, and shall do many times more, no doubt. Yeah, I don't know. I might even look it up. I might even go so far as to look it up and inform myself of the fact. A few axes, but I hang them up and look at them. Yeah, unfortunately, I've got a lot of things that I just hang up and look at. So I need to stop doing that sort of thing, and I need to buy things that I actually use rather than just looking at stuff. So I'm trying to kind of out the things that I just look at and buy or acquire, preferably acquire, things that I actually use rather than stuff that I just stare at. So yeah, I mean, these, I'm pleased to say that I will be using these. Yeah, Malcolm, I think you're right. I think they were before, but you know what Dick is like. If you say something about him, it's just best not to say anything. If you can't say something good about somebody, don't say anything at all. That's the mantra I've come to live by. And it's got me this far in life. Not far, but that's an olive tree behind me. It's quite an old olive tree, which ordinarily you would prune them down so that they are productive, but we're not worried about that. Inside the garden, we're not worried about any of the trees being productive, really. So it's just a big olive tree, and it needs a little bit of therapy, but tree. Battery issues. Now we're live and direct, and we're plugged in. There's no stopping us now. Whatever type of energy they're burning, whatever type of raw material they're burning to provide it, we've got it. So we're back. Sorry about that, guys. Brief interruption for you to go and put the kettle on or make a coffee. Anyway, I wasn't intending to stay on here all afternoon and bore everybody. It's just I thought I'd check in. Yes, I'm back. Back. Like a bad smell, Henry. So yeah, I just thought I'd check in, guys. Yeah, come for some orange juice. Yeah, orange juice. Orange juice is only for in the morning, I think. It's so rich. It's great, but it's so rich. If you have a great deal of it, it makes your stomach a bit acidic. So you have to kind of stay away from it in great quantities. So, Mr. Buck and Billy Ray, how's it going? OJ is good, drink by the gallon. Yeah, it is good. Hi Al, good to hear that you're spending some time with Linda. So, how's everybody doing? What's happening next week? Guys off to work tomorrow? Holidays? Win the lottery? Anybody won the lottery this weekend? Anybody even buying a ticket for the lottery? Got to be in it to win it. I've never bought a lottery ticket in my life. Would you believe that? I've never wanted to. Well, I never wanted to win it. I'd love to win it, but I'd hate not to win it. Sin, you're retired. That's good. I'm kind of retired. I'm kind of retired and doing a bit. So retired and busier than I ever was when I wasn't retired. So doing stuff. Back to fixing lawnmowers tomorrow. Okay, good. How's it going, Henry? Is that a good business? Local business? Yeah, I know what you mean, Sin. How about the horse track? Never been to the horse track in my life. I've never been to the horse track. I once gambled. I went to a casino. I was out for the night. I went to a casino and I went on the roulette wheel and I bet on red and black. Just red and black. And I won about £600, which was, it was a few years ago now. It was probably 25, 30 years ago. I would have been about 20. Hey PB, keep it up. You'll be retired soon. Keep doing them call outs. Yeah, so a few years ago now. So that was quite a decent amount of money at the time. But I've never gambled after that. I just took that as my one big win. Bucking. No, it's Sunday. So I would think I sent the form in to the customs and I haven't heard anything back, which means that was all fine. So I reckon it will be here by Wednesday. Said package will be here by Wednesday, I think. So I'll let you know as soon as it comes. I'll let you know and we can confirm its arrival. But I've got no reason to think it won't come. I sent the form off to the customs and they've got my email and they're supposed to email you if there's any problem with the forms you sent in, so it shouldn't be a problem. So when that big shiny Cadillac arrives, comes up my drive, I'll let you know. So anyone got any questions or anything they want to ask me while I'm on here? I know I'm not as interesting to talk to as Mr. Bucking Billy Ray, but I do my best for my friends and family. Retired is when you get up to go to work and go home. Yeah, exactly. The property is, yeah, it does, CMP. It just little and often. It just needs little and often all the time. Nothing major, just got to keep on top of things all the time. It gets away from you very quickly here. Because we've got a lot of water, we live by the river, and we've got a lot of water for irrigation. The river runs all year, which is quite rare here in Andalusia. If you hear in Spain, if you hear of something being called an arroyo, that's a river. An arroyo runs all the time. So we've got water all the time. Me, Malcolm, consulting? Is that what you're asking? What's up with your pool? We've got a massive pool. It's 21 metres long by 14 metres wide, and we're this autumn we're having. I'll get to you, Malcolm, in a sec. This autumn we're having have it all changed around because there's such a big volume of water in it that it's just it's crazy. The amount of chemicals you have to use and the amount of attention it needs is crazy. So we're having 3 different depths put into it. So you've got like a swimming lane, a shallow part, and a middle part in depths, and it's having a pontoon put out into the middle of it, which sits up out of the water with a pergola in the middle, and so you can walk out into the middle of the pool and sit down and have a drink. So we're having all that done. So that's why it's been empty all summer, because it's like drying out. Everything's drying out, ready for the work to be done. They've got to drill into the existing and put rebar in and concrete and all that stuff. So that's that. Malcolm, yes, consulting. That's pretty much what I do. I work here for various different people, consulting, and that's to do with real estate and it's to do with finance. So it's to do with financial institutions, and it's also to do with high net worth individuals who are prepared to lend money to people. Really, Dickard? Well, you can come over and do mine. I'll put you up and you can come and do mine. I haven't got a clue. Well, that's not true, but you know, get someone else to do it. It's doing it all the time. They've got all the machinery and everything else. I don't want to get involved in it. Too much like hard work. So yeah, we'll have all that done. We're having 2 things done. We're having that done, and we're having our kitchen. First YouTuber. We're having our kitchen altered because it's kind of going to go through into what is a bedroom at the moment. Is that me bouncing in and out, Al? Like the video? So yeah, we're going to go through into one of the bedrooms and make that a dining room. So we're going through from the kitchen into that, and we're losing one bedroom. And the ensuite bathroom that's in that bedroom will become the guest bathroom for people when they come. Not that anyone ever comes, because I'm miserable and I don't have any friends. But yeah, we're having some stuff done. Now it's cooled down, get the builders in. Okay guys, well, if that is everything, it's been a pleasure speaking with you on Sunday afternoon in Spain. It's cooling down here now. It's probably been about 30 degrees here today. Yeah, I can imagine, Bucking. I can imagine. It must have been torturous. You have the EPA and a lot of regulation. Yeah, we don't have anything here in Spain. There's no regulation whatsoever about anything. So I won't use the word, but you know the slogan. No one gives a. And bye, PB. Thanks for checking in. Yeah, hillbillies. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, rednecks. We're a load of rednecks here. So hi, Northerner. How you doing, buddy? How's Seaman? How's your son? Hope he's well today. So yeah, like here it's like the Wild West, you know, you just do whatever you want. Cheers, CNP. Thanks, buddy. Nice to see you. Hi, Ender. How you doing? So yeah, you do pretty much what you want. There's none of that. Great. I'm pleased to hear it. I'm pleased to hear he's better. That's great. I'm really pleased. Is he around? Hi, Seaman. Yeah, I think you guys have got like weird petrol cans and all that over there, which like nobody likes because they don't pour or anything. Okay, Michael, nice to see you. Cheers, Malcolm. Bye now. Yeah, you got all that stuff, and like here, you just go into the petrol station with a empty plastic bottle and they'll fill it up with petrol, you know. Just I think, to be honest, I think like the common sense has been sucked out of the world, hasn't it? And they just want to nanny you all the time, think that you haven't got any common sense of your own. So like in Spain it's completely different. They do assume that you do actually have a brain cell. You're probably not going to set light to yourself or stand too close to the water because there's a big drop and you might fall onto the rocks. So yeah, I mean, all that stuff just doesn't really exist here. They do have some kind of yeah, I saw that they do have some kind of health and safety here, but it's very marginal. I saw some kind of pump system thing, some kind of battery pump system that pumped the water out of those cans so that. Cheers, Bucking. Nice to see you. Good luck. Looking forward to the Sunday video when it comes out, when you can be bothered to do it. I know you're a man of leisure. No, very nice. Good to see you. I ought to go. I think my supper is probably ready, and if I don't go and get it, it'll be in the dog. We don't know where he is. He probably wants a walk as well. So it's been great to see you all, guys. Thank you very much for tuning in into the garden. The Spanish garden, and I've been out working on the bench here. I've been sharpening up these axes, and I have been sharpening up this knife, and I have made a video of it. So if that kind of thing interests you, using this Tormek system, Biosynth, which is this system here, Swedish sharpening system, then check it out when I get it up there. But I've done the axes on it and I've done the knife on it, and they come up pretty good. Alright, Henry, take care. Okay guys, I'm going to sign off now. Thanks very much for joining me on the live feed. Nice that Billy came in as well. and see you all soon. Look out for the forging videos when I get around to getting that done, but I've been working through the footage and it's pretty good, looks really great. So I'm looking forward to getting that up for you guys, and you can see what we did over those 2 days. We'll break it down into sections so it's clear for everybody. Alright guys, I'm going to sign off. Good to see you all. Take care, have a great week, be kind. Bye now.